If women strive to be equal to men, they lack ambition. In a way, this quote summarizes 46 years of learning to live my life in a natural way. And day by day, because ever since I was born, I know one thing for sure: I am a woman. And day by day, I'm still learning to embrace my femininity as the vital source from all I do that I do, from raising my children to working at Microsoft. I find accepting this aspect of my natural me inspiring and yet fearful at the same time. Because looking at the two principles in nature, the expanding and the contracting, or the male and female principle, I know that biologically I did bring one of these forces along. And being aware of the fact that the Western society has been mainly built on the analytical, the rational, the logical, the outward and expanding force, and being aware of the social, the economic, the political and ecological imbalance at the same time, I know that if we want to create a sustainable future beyond today, we need to create a dynamic balance between the two forces. A dynamic balance between me and us, between head and heart, between quantity and quality, between movement and stillness, between freedom and responsibility. And not as opposite, but as complementary abilities of society, of organizations, and thus human beings. And we need to create a continuous imbalance, because if the two forces are equal, there is a standstill. And thankfully, nature is telling us that the ratio between the inward and the outward force stands from 1.618 to 1, known as the golden ratio, known as the secret behind a spider web, a sunflower, or the shell behind me. And nature is guiding us to tilt the relationship between the two principles toward the female integrating aspect. So I, being a woman, lack ambition if I strive to be equal to men. At least if I take being a woman seriously. And that is why I lead my life by being a living example and a learning example for my two daughters to be the mothers of the future, beyond caretaking. To be working for an organization and creating an organizational culture in where every individual can be its true self and accepts the uniqueness of the other. Working for an organization that brought technology to everyone and made it a normality in everyone's life and every day's life. Enabling people throughout the world to get connected and democracies to be created. I lack ambition if I stop believing in a world where there can be equality for every living being. And that is why I decided to be as a leading example or a living example and to speak today here. And for the few men in this room, and fortunately they are, you all lack ambition if you strive to be equal to a woman. Thank you for listening.